Hi, my name's James and I'm an Autopay TFL user. I'm here to tell you that the Autopay system that TFL run, which I think it was designed by Capita, I think then IBM took it over, and I think now Capita are running it once again for TFL. I'm here to tell you that the TFL system is not working. It's not working for me. Therefore, I can only assume that other people are having these failings. For a little bit of context, my parents were caught up in the post office scandal. They weren't prosecuted, but they did. The post office did attempt to take money off them, and so my parents decided to close the post office early so they couldn't take it out of my mum's wages. Needless to say, they didn't steal a penny, and needless to say, no one at the post office yet has really been convicted of any wrongdoing. Anyway, I digress. TFL Autopay system. About 6 months ago, I had a bit of a cash flow. So my TFL Autopay system's been up and running for, I don't know, maybe 2 years. About 6 months ago, Christmas time, not a lot of work in, small amount of cash flow. So I stopped automatically paying my credit card, the credit card they had on file for paying for the Autopay system. So credit card got stopped for a while. I failed to make the minimum payment 1 month on that credit card. Therefore, anything then was being paid off that credit card was stopped. And that was a problem. My system, my account went into pre-suspension, and luckily I caught it in time and managed to pay for it. But that was genuinely, effectively my fault. I set something in motion, and the auto pay system flagged it and stopped it. Since then, though, we've had some major issues, and every month my account has gone into pre-suspension. Every month I speak to my bank because TFL sent me a letter to say, an email with a PDF attached to say that the auto pay system has attempted payment and the bank has rejected the payment. So I'm like, well, that's a bit weird. Obviously, the first time it did it categorically because it did reject the payment because there was no funds available from my bank, effectively. But subsequently, 5 months down the line, every month since, it's gone into pre-suspension. I've spoken to my bank. Not only have they looked into their banking system, they've also gone into Visa's system to see if there's been any attempted payment, and that if maybe Visa might have rejected the payment. Just to let you know, obviously in the UK, when a bank declines a payment, it issues a decline code in the same way as that it would produce an authorization code, whether or not you're tapping, paying, chip and pin, paying on something online. A code is created by the bank that authorizes it, then creates a chain of events where you can see what's happening, or you can't see what's happening, but obviously you can ask the bank to investigate what's happening, and obviously the bank records all the calls. So I have all the evidence from my bank, a UK registered bank, one of the largest in the UK, nationwide. I tend to trust Nationwide's banking systems more than I trust the government's ability to procure IT systems from third parties. Again, referencing the post office and Fujitsu. Post office is effectively a Quango government organisation, so and so is TFL. So anyway, 5 months down the line, goes into pre-suspension again. Just got off the call from my bank, and they never received payment. So I've been on the phone to TFL numerous times. I've done freedom of information requests, data requests. I'm now speaking to their press office, and I'm also attempting to contact Capita to ascertain if my details of their understanding of the contract are correct, and also to investigate and understand if there are any gremlins, what gremlins happen, and how often they have issues, and also what are the safeguarding aspects around those issues, specifically relating to obviously the failings of Fujitsu and the post office around the Horizon scandal. Now, I don't think systems are ever going to be completely infallible. Like humans, they break from time to time. So I'm not here to moan that the system isn't working. I think that's completely acceptable and understandable given the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of transactions that it processes all the time. I'm here to talk about the safeguarding and monitoring and checking on those systems. Now, it could seem quite trivial just paying for ULEZ or congestion charge. Oh, it's just a fine, it's just a payment and it's not working. Get over it, James, what are you talking about? But to put it in perspective, when I missed the first credit card payment, I only really knew that I'd missed that payment because I got a PCN through the door because I'd failed to pay a ULEZ charge. Now, thankfully, again, because this date of event and change of events, the TFL were pretty fair and they cancelled that PCN, not even with me officially, just, saying, I just, unofficially emailed and said what had happened and spoke to them and they cancelled it. Lovely lady on the phone, not faulting TFL staff at all. But effectively, if I fail to notice that again and a PCN goes at my door, and I'm someone that spends a lot of time working not from home, so I can be away for 30 days. I'm not always so good at checking my emails. And also, the emails don't come from TFL. You pay at tfl.gov.uk, but the emails all come from cclondon@cclondon.com, which to me just looks a bit weird. So at the time that I did get an email from them, I failed to pick it up because it went into the junk box because it wasn't coming from TFL. I don't know why the emails communications don't come from TFL. They come on TFL branded PDFs, but the actual email comes from cclondon@cclondon.com, which considering I'm not even paying congestion charge, I'm paying ULEZ majority of the time, does feel a bit strange. Anyway, I digress. The point is, it's failing. It's massively failing. I've proved it to be failing. And definitely for the past 2 months, I've been chronologically kind of setting it all up and also speaking to people at TFL, and no one wants to admit there's a problem. It's effectively the David Williams sketch from Little Britain. Computer says no. And this is a really worrying thing because these systems are like 10, 15, 20 years old. Some of these systems are very old. If we think about Horizon, it was obviously being implemented, not long past the millennium. I think I'm not sure when it was exactly, but anyway, my parents shut their shop in 2006, and so it was happening before then. So we're talking about the 90s, and obviously coding, is as old as the 70s. But now with the occurrence of AI and computer systems that people are looking at as being completely infallible, we really need to, as humans, be better at this oversight. The system will fail. Fact. We need to safeguard how those systems failing might negatively affect people. Because as I said, if I fail to pay and a PCN comes through the door, then a fucking bailiff can come in the door. And if I miss the bailiff, then, effectively I could go to prison if I couldn't afford to pay for the bailiff and the debt recovery. So there is a whole system in place where if I mess up, a big fucking ton of bricks comes down and fucking pins me to the ground and says, you're in fault and I need your fucking money. But when TFL or the post office or Fujitsu fucks up and continues to lie about it, continues to ignore it, not much happens. So it is pretty serious, really, because is it fair? Really? I don't mind paying ULEZ. I don't mind paying a congestion charge. I sort of jog on from it. I'm not one of those people trying to drag the cameras down and tell you that these things are a problem. I fully accept it. It's not exactly the most cost-effective, friendly way of doing it for people of low incomes, because obviously if you've got the money, you can just buy a new car and it gets you out of having to pay those bills. So it's sort of a tax on the poor, but by the by, we get on with it. My point is we need human oversight and checking. So please, in the comments below, if you've had any direct issues with TFL Autopay systems, please do get in contact. I want to contact you. DM me on this channel. Please do get in contact. The more of us that unite to come around to understand this, the more someone at TFL might go, oh, is there a problem? Oh, I'll get off my little bottom and find the problem. And it's not even probably TFL. Again, no offense to any TFL people watching this working at TFL. Like, this is an IT system that is failing and needs checking. And sadly, even though I've told many people at TFL in various departments, this feels like the only avenue where someone actually might listen. So if we get enough viewers, if you get enough comments, please do put your comment in. Peace.